Hi there, Frank here from Remek. As you know, these market analysis videos are uploaded onto YouTube with a delay. If you'd like to receive them before events happen to make them actionable, please visit remek.ca and subscribe to our premium membership. All the details can be found in the description below the video. We hope to have you on board very soon. Thank you very much and mindful trading. Hi there, Frank here for premium members for the trading day of April the 16th, 2026, a Thursday. Good to be back. Let's look at the situations here. As you can see from the Market Scanner Pro, there's a lot happening. Going through all this would take us an hour, so I'm going to let you do this on your own time. I just want to highlight a couple of things that happened in the past 2 days since we produced our last video. And, going through all this, I haven't found one market where we were wrong. This just happens to be the case. Sometimes we're wrong. This is not one of those times. Let's look at the indexes first. As usual, check this out. We have on the ES, we have tested the previous pivot. It wasn't a difficult story, really. I mean, it was obvious. And basically, the same thing happened. Let me just look at the other ones. NQ. This works like a magnet, but the YM looked even better. Now remember, there's no guarantee that the YM is going to catch up and do what the others did, but it's very likely, and that's all we need. So keep an eye on the YM and also the RTY, which has been quite dynamic lately. Look at this, not much left. Okay, remember, this all started with this failure test about, 10 days ago, which was in the video. We pointed it out. Also pointed out that the 4-hour breakout trade, look at this. So really, I mean, seriously, there's nothing we didn't know about this. Look at this. We pointed out the, what is this called? The complex bull flag on the weekly chart. So that this market wants to go up couldn't have been a surprise for any of us here. Okay? Well, of course, understanding the likely course of events is one thing. Being able to put on a trade and profit from this knowledge is quite another. So it takes skills, stamina, technological preparedness, software skills, a good plan. There's a lot going on to this, like a Rubik's Cube. You have to put the puzzle together. But I think it's a quite honorable and worthy and noble exercise. Okay, moving on to currencies. Again, we were projecting long trades. They are either happening or various state of development here. Look at this. The 60 didn't really give us much of a pullback here. Usually, or most likely, the 120 will be tested. And remember, you can go back a couple of days. This is the overall picture here. We projected that this level 120 will be tested, and perhaps even more, but that's another story. Okay, now let me just highlight one that has been lagging a little bit, the Japanese yen. Makes sense to keep an eye on this market. I would prefer to, at least on the daily chart, for price to touch the Keltner first before I get active on this market. But if and when that event happens, I'd be very interested in the first pullback and take it back to this pivot. Okay, so that's one of the things. And all the others, everything I look at, New Zealand dollar, beautiful moves to the upside here. Swiss franc. So good times on currencies. There's still some things to go. Look at this reversal. This has been here for a week with the failure test too. And look at this beautiful failure test 4-hour chart. So again, the information has been in the videos and on the pages for a couple of days in advance. Okay, so let's look at gold. I expect this to test the 54-55 area, and SI is also moving up. I think these markets will just break through, and I put some instruments here. SL is the future, SL is ETF, and AQG is the double ETF, bullish. So you can pick your poison, as it were, and do the trade with your preferred instrument. Okay, the other two, PAPL, good bullish opportunities are developing here. Let's have a look. Here we go. This is expected to become a measured move. Look at this. So hitting 1800 upper Keltner is quite likely from here. And platinum, no real setup, but if you're long, manage it. If not, then I would probably choose the PA because it looks better. But look at this. We talked about this, a penetration into the Remek cloud. Go back a couple of videos. We detailed this 2 times, I think, on different markets. Look at this deep penetration on the 4-hour chart, any time frame, by the way, into the strong momentum cloud. Makes a burst to the upside, in this case, a bullish situation, quite likely. So it's worth paying attention to these very long tails inside the momentum cloud. Hi, also, if you like this content, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. And if you know someone who might benefit from this information, then please share this video. This is how you can help us to bring this content to as many traders as possible. Thank you for your help. We'll see you soon, and until then, mindful trading. Let's look at some other markets. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, just a little quiet accumulation. Of course, there's no 100% certainty here, but I think the 80,000, this resistance level is expected to be tested now. What we don't know, of course, if we get a pullback at the Keltner. The textbook, the standard expectation is yes, to expect a pullback. Okay, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Okay, and last but not least, let's look at some of the agriculturals because I think they're waking up. There were some corn and wheat trades a couple of weeks ago, and then we abandoned them. And that was the right move at the time. But now, look at this, they're coming back. And no reason to rush in, but I would keep an eye on a bull flag on the 4-hour chart if you do trade this market. And they're quite liquid, by the way, and they have good ETF options as well. And also soybeans and wheat, they look good as well. Remember, soybean, this has been going on for 10 days or so. I still think that if this breaks, then I'd be interested in a long trade. Look at this. So, well, if it doesn't want to go down, it has to go somewhere, and I think it's going to go up. Wheat, here we go. Ugly structure, but the weekly and the 4-hour gives us a little clue here that this actually, the 4-hour already has the trigger. So we have a trade now with a trigger, something like this on the 4-hour chart. And the weekly could easily become a measured move back to 700, in which case we would be dealing with an excellent trade here on the weekly time frame. Again, ETFs are available. So a host of opportunities here, and review these things carefully, do your risk management, see which one fits into your plan, and let's do the job. Back in the morning, and until then, mindful trading.